Welcome to another episode of Grad School Now. My name is Nikki Hernandez, and in today's episode, Brenda Enriquez speaks to some of the professionals from the Mathematics, Engineer, Computer Science, and Science Department. We'll find out more about the STEM project and how it can make you more competitive in the job market.
Welcome to another episode of Grad School Now. I'm your host, Brenda Enriquez, and this month's topic is the STEM field and why it is important. And today we have an expert in the field, Dr. Fox. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely, it's a great pleasure.
And he will tell us more about the STEM field. Now, Dr. Fox, we have the STEM. What does that stand for? A lot of students aren't aware.
Well, it's the part of a plant that the leaves come off of, right? No, actually it's government speak, and it's short for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
In a nutshell,
Yeah.
STEM. Now, what are some of the graduate programs offered at UTPA under that field?
There's a very large number of master's programs and two major colleges primarily, one of which is science and mathematics, which are the S and the M part of STEM, and then in the College of Engineering, which is the technology and engineering part of STEM. And most of the departments have master's programs of one sort or another. Some are interdisciplinary programs, some are standalone programs, and then we also have considered to be STEM are some of my colleagues over in social and behavioral sciences, like experimental psychology and anthropology. They have, again, some sort of master's programs. And there's even, I would say some of my colleagues maybe even over in English. They're linguists, they're scientists too, and so there might be some opportunities there as well. But I mean, that's a little bit different because it's not a standalone master's program, even though some of the people there are scientists.
I see. Now, these are a lot of graduate programs you are mentioning. Now, can you tell us why these fields are important?
Because they're awesome!
I see.
But that's the real scientist answer, because that's what I do professionally. But you listen to other people, and they'll, the politicians will say, well, STEM is going to be the driver of our economy for the next century, and they talk about how, you put in, for every dollar you put into science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, you tend to get like $4 to $10 back in investment, and that's where the good-paying jobs are. And you look around at where the excitement is and what people are interested in, like that smartphone that you're watching this on, or that computer that you're watching this on, or this microphone that I'm talking into, or the video camera that are being made. Science made all those things, so it's absolutely everywhere.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Now, how is the graduate school promoting these?
We've been really fortunate that one of the things that's happened a couple of years ago was that we were able to get a fairly substantial grant from the Department of Education that was to promote the graduate programs, particularly in these disciplines. Not only, but particularly in these disciplines. And so with that, there's been a lot of things that we've been doing that the students see some of it, and some of it's kind of behind the scenes. Okay. So we've been doing things, working with some of the supervisors so that they can be better supervisors to the students. There's also been some scholarships that we've been able to award through students through these grants so that they can support themselves a little better. And we've been doing some things with having in some guest speakers that have been giving some public lectures. So just recently we had Randy Olson, who used to be a scientist, who's now a filmmaker.
Oh, wow.
And so there's a real mix of different things that have been going on with the Office of Graduate Studies in this front.
Well, that's very good to hear. Now, how do these resources offered by the Graduate Resource Center help the students?
Well, as I said, in the simplest one, let's take a scholarship. When we're able to give a student a scholarship, they can be here on campus doing their research. Because when you're doing something at the graduate level in science or technology, you're doing research, really. That's what it's fundamentally about. And with that, if students are able to spend more time on that research, they're going to be able to get through their degrees faster. They're going to be probably able to do a better degree. They're going to be able to do a better research project. And when we have things like when we're working with the supervisors who may not have had all that many graduate students before. And so now we're trying to work with them. It's like, okay, well, how can you work with the student and really advance that student's career? There's all these different kinds of ways that these are going to feed into helping better the experience of the master's students.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Fox. It's been a pleasure to have you on board.
Absolutely, anytime.
Thank you. And there you have it, folks. STEM in a nutshell by Dr. Fox. And I'm sitting with Mr. Juan Salinas. Thank you for being here with us. And he's a graduate student pursuing a master's degree in mathematics. Now, Juan, tell us why you made a decision to continue your graduate school with a mathematics degree.
Well, as an educator, I wanted to prepare myself to teach higher level topics in mathematics, such as calculus and statistics.
I see. And what has your experience in the graduate program been like so far?
It's been very exciting. The professors are always there to guide students and motivate them as well. There are also people that students can learn a lot from, not only the math, but also the importance of research that could, lead them to acquire new knowledge that can be used later on to solve new real-world problems.
Okay. And how has the Graduate Resource Center assisted you?
Well, in the beginning, they helped me with the application process. They also helped me to participate in a grant to do research, which later now is turning into my thesis. And they also helped me with the thesis preparation. There was some training, some workshops that I attended to. And now they're helping me with my graduation.
Okay, well that's wonderful. You are getting some hands-on experience. Now this experience will be good for your career. So what are your career goals?
Well, at this point, my career goal is to be a high school teacher and to help high school students learn advanced topics in mathematics, such as calculus and statistics as well.
Now, Juan, what advice do you have for students who are interested in pursuing a STEM degree?
Well, STEM fields are a very strong demand in the United States, so my advice to them would be to start early and to become strong learners and experts in the field that they're interested in, and that'll help them to get farther ahead in the field that they choose.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here with us, Juan. I appreciate that. And now to our featured student.
Thank you, Brenda, for that valuable information, and I'm sure it'll help plenty of you out there. And now on to our featured student. The science behind human behavior may sound complex and in need of a lot of research, but for a double major like Bernice Martinez, it's just another educational challenge.
I'm originally from Brownsville, but I live in Mercedes, and throughout my high school years, I knew college was the right option for me. During my senior year in high school, I weighed my options and chose UTPA as it provided me with a full scholarship for my bachelor's degree. Also, it's close to home, and it gave me the opportunity to give back to my community through several student organizations and community service events. I graduated fall 2008 with a double major and a minor. I have a major, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, and a minor in Spanish. In my field, in psychology, graduate school is not an option, it's a necessity. If I needed to do better and be better prepared in my career field, I know I needed to come to graduate school. And after I found out that UTPA had this unique program in the Valley, which is a board certified behavior analyst, the BCBA concentration, I knew graduate school is where I wanted to be. Experimental psychology is not a very popular degree in the university, so the department counts with limited resources for its implementation. But the good thing about it is that it's growing in popularity among the students in the community, and it brings the opportunity to bring services that aren't currently provided here. And with experimental psychology, you get to look, it gives you a better window into a certain problem and discover why that's happening and how you can better deal with that problem. So as a recipient of the STEM scholarship, I also I was awarded the Summer Research Initiative grant, and with that they're helping me fund my thesis project. And my thesis project consists of changing environmental enrichment and food consumption, also to provide an animal model for obesity and the different environments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 2 groups of 10 mice each. Each group is going to be housed in these cages. We're going to have the appropriate bedding, and we're going to have an enriched and an impoverished group. The enriched group, we're going to enrich it by putting a bunch of toys. So we have several toys here. We have a couple of playgrounds, running wheels, houses, tunnels, and things that mice really enjoy. And we're going to house them all in the enriched environment. And we're going to have the impoverished environment where we're going to put everything that they need, their food, their bedding, but not the toys. And what we're going to do is we're also going to include a different diet. We're going to have a nutritional diet, which is made up of nutritional chow, and a junk food diet, which we're going to use Oreo cookies. We're going to have the same diets in each of the chambers, and from there we're going to measure the amount of food that they consume and to see if any changes arise from that, the amount of body weight that they gain according to the diet that they choose, and also if that deals anything with a different environment that they reside in. All right, this is an operant chamber, which is a modified version of B.F. Skinner's The Skinner Box. So we have some food pellets here that come out through this magazine, and we also have 2 light bulbs and 2 levers. So what we do is we put the animal in here, and as soon as we see that the animal is getting close to pressing the lever, we will press on the clicker, and the food pellet is going to come here through the magazine, and so the animal can eat it. What we use this for is we use this to study the learning process, and this is also used for discrimination trials, which is the rat will learn to press on the lever whenever the light is on and to not press on it when the light is off. Also, we use this to study impulsivity in animals, and it's basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the rat to press on the lever and to make the connection between the lever pressing and them being able to get a reinforcer, which in this case will be a food pellet. And I have footage here of that shaping process. Once we put the animals in there, at the beginning, they'll roam around the cage, they'll sniff everywhere until they start getting close to pressing the lever. So once they do that, we definitely want to reinforce that as soon as possible by hitting the clicker and giving them a food pellet. That way they get to establish that connection, and that connection stronger, to which, once I press the lever, I'm going to get a reinforcer, which is something I like. So they will do that often and often, and that way they make that connection. That is what that will be used to explain their learning process in the rats. I currently plan on graduating this coming fall semester. I will, after having completed my thesis and my practicum hours. After that, I plan to take the National Board Certification and be BCBA certified and continue working with children with special needs. I would also like to take an active promoting role in my field and the philosophy of our field, what we do and what we can do for others. I would like for the community to have a local option and for them to know that we're here to help them.
Bernice's interest in experimental psychology produces data for illnesses such as autism, anorexia, diabetes, and so many others. This high-in-demand profession is funded by the STEM program. Now this completes another episode of Grad School Now. For more information, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, or at utpa.edu/grad school. Thanks for watching. I'm Nikki Hernandez.